I picked up one of these Perpetual Motion Machines. As this one claims, relies on kinetic motion to keep moving. Gently swing the upper part and it will swing perpetually, as long as there's batteries in it. If you're looking at picking up one of these, because they are kind of cute, there are two types. Actually, I guess there's three types. This one's battery only. There's ones with batteries and also USB, and there's probably ones out there of just USB. But this one, since it's batteries only, I will be upgrading it with a USB connector so that I don't waste batteries. Right now I've got rechargeables in here, 1.2 volts. So that works out to be, and there's 4 of them, so that's 4.8 volts, and it's working fine. If it had the others in it, it would be running at 6 volts. So running it off of 5 volts won't be an issue. Now let's just stop this thing. Word of warning on these. If you buy one, check in here, look at how this is run for 1 week, actually 10 days, and it's almost cut, well, it's cut fair distance into the material here. This side's not too bad. Let me just get that out of the way. The issue is sharp edges. This one's here, that was a sharp edge. So you might want to try to do some deburring before you turn it on. What I will do for this one here is I'll probably get some heat shrink and put a little piece in here. It'll pull the magnet a bit further away from the coil, but hey, see if it works. Otherwise it's going to cut through this plastic in no time. So what you have on this part, you've got a nice sized magnet here. Let's see. I don't believe that would be a neoprene. Did I pronounce that right? Neodymium. Then there's a magnet here for it spinning past. So when I'm finished playing with electronics in here, this time I'm going to hopefully keep it on camera, and I'll use my soldering iron to cut a groove in here for putting this in. So let's take a look at the underside of it. As I said, I had rechargeables in here. Let's get them out. Out they come. Since this works about 7 to 10 days on a fresh set of AA batteries, it would become fairly expensive after a while. Let me grab my screwdriver. There we go. 2 screws. No labels hiding them. Isn't that nice? This circuit's been around for a long time. I did not have one of these as a kid. Guess I was deprived. Not likely. Okay. No parts attached up there. So you basically have the kicker coil here. I'll put a close-up over there. 2 screws holding the circuit board down, and the batteries are in series. So there's one. Oops. And 2. So let's take a look at this board. Okay, power is on this one. It's not exactly sophisticated. Let me just zoom down. So here's the circuit. I'll put a picture of the circuit board here, over here. There's not a lot to it. This is the positive here, and it comes over to the collector. Then the emitter is connected to one side here, which goes to the coil coming across. That coil is 24 ohms. And then from the emitter here, you've got the other coil coming across to here, to the base, connected over to there. And it's 1975 ohm, or 74 ohms. So that's it for the whole circuit. Not a lot to it. Oh, I picked this up off of Amazon a while back for $16.08. But as I said, buy one that's already got the USB installed. So here's the schematic. I'm going to be putting this in, cutting the wires off of the batteries terminals here, and that's it. So basically you got the juice coming in. It's just waiting for the base to turn on. Magnet goes sweeping by. That momentarily gets the base to turn on. Current flows down, starts charging up this coil. Eventually, I'm not sure if it actually gets to the full value, that like the field that it can contain, but it's enough that when this actually then cuts the current off to the base, and when that happens, this turns off, and then this discharges. So basically, as the magnet goes by, it gets a kick from the coils. And there's probably people out there that could do a much better explanation than I just did. This thing's been around for a long time. So what I'm going to do now is modify it. So first, better get this back attached. I'm going to have to use a bit of hot glue in here. It looks like I've already stripped yep, I've stripped them. So now it's just a matter of where do I bring the power in? And it looks like it's this side. That way I can just snip these wires. So take a look at the connector. Got my soldering iron. I'm doing this on camera this time. And that should be big enough. Let's see if it fits. Oh yeah, that'll fit. So I just need to let it cool off a bit, then I'm going to actually trim this one. So let's just clean this up. Always cut towards yourself. No wait, I believe it's supposed to be always cut away from yourself. Oh, that looks better. There. It's kind of nice. Okay, bit big. So now I'll connect up these wires to that. So what I'm going to do is disconnect the negative side first. Oops. Then I'm going to take a piece of heat shrink, stick it on so that I actually remember which is which. Good enough. Now I'll take the other one off. And a little blob over here. Now connect them up. Hopefully you're not looking at the top of my head. Okay, that looks like I got that one. Come on, and this way. You want to go every which way but the way I want you to go. Okay, got a bit of solder on there. This is why I don't like soldering while on camera. Shows how poor I'm at it. Done. Now, all I need is a hot glue gun. Okay, since this now wobbles, since I stripped those screws, this is more or less going together as a one-way operation. You see the screws almost trying to fall out right now. There we go. I'm just going to let that cool now. So now I need to just glue this in here. I think what I'll do is I'll just push it in a little bit, give it a good blob, and try to set it on the other side. And then just hold it. I'm obviously going to edit this part now. That didn't work because this thing gets mounted in that way. So it's actually going to hit. So what I'll do is fill in this hole and make a new hole on this side. That was disappointing. Let's see, it looks like it'll fit, and let everything cool off again. So, after lots of fiddling, I found actually just connect a cable to it. That way I can hold it in place and apply lots and lots of hot glue. And then let it cool. And of course, fill in the previous hole with hot glue and then get a magic marker to cover up your mistakes. Okay, everything's cooled off. No shortage of hot glue being used here. That was so special. I really should have paid a bit better attention. Let's put this together. Obviously this did not go as planned, but I think if you've been watching my videos, sometimes things just go the wrong way. Oh good, at least that thing disconnects. So I'll now plug this into power. No rapid disassembly. Put this in here. Adjust them a bit. Hey, come on, a bit less wobble. There we go. So it works. So now it is time to see if I can fix these. Yeah, that looks like it'll fit. going to have to be very careful of heat on this, since this is just plastic. There's one. There's two. Yeah, that might go too far. There's two. Let's trim that one a bit more. And I'm going to use my iron for this one. Let's see if this will work. I'm allowed to talk while this is doing this. So this thing didn't go exactly as planned. Took a lot longer than I thought it would. If you're actually still watching, great. If you're not still watching, well, then I'm just talking to thin air. Oh. The missus wonders why I can actually pick up hot objects really easy. And like, I burned those nerves away a while ago. Okay, this is still plugged in. Let's see if the fix worked. So it actually brought it up a tiny bit from the base, just a tiny bit, but it's still working fine. So there, it's done. It works. I didn't destroy it. Great. Have a good evening. Bye.